We have discussed many things in the monasteries. That is, the monks have to adopt the vows. The monks have to adopt the three jewels of the Buddhism, and that continuously followed in the monasteries. And each monastery will dedicate to teach and also practice them every day or in fortnight, whatever time they fix in that particular monastery. And if the monks, if at all anyone cannot follow this order, the vows or any of the orders that he learned from this monastery, they are free to leave that institution when they feel that he cannot practice them as it is, because it is left to the monks who involved in that monastery. In the school holidays, the boys who come into these monasteries to learn and prepare for the future life, they used to learn all these precepts, all these jewels of Buddhism in a systematic manner by some of the senior monks in that area. They will be prepared for the monastery life in the coming years when they become the monks. The monks, when they are enter into the monastery, they are the vegetarians first. And those vegetarian system is gradually in some of the communities of the monasteries was taken off, because it was made a rule that the non-vegetarian or the animal that is going to be cooked for the monks, if it is not for the purpose of monks is not killed, then they are eligible to eat the non-vegetarian in that monastery. The monks has to beg every day. They have to go door to door and beg for their food. And they bring that food to the monastery and they take it as midday meal. But what happened during the course of this maintenance of monasteries? The kings that were sponsored for these monasteries, and also the wealthy people of the community, they sponsored these monasteries and they gave alms to these monasteries, and so the monasteries have become very rich. So gradually the idea of begging is taken away, and it was not done at this time, and it was also not done at the time of the kings who sponsored these monasteries. There was no central control of these monasteries to maintain these monasteries uniformly, and the day-to-day business of the monasteries is done by the senior members of the monks forming into a committee. And they form the committee and discuss the issues and take steps and take actions in the monastery, either to admit the monks into the monastery or to expel the monks from the monastery. In every 15 days, that is full moon day and also new moon day, they perform Uposta. In Pali, it is called Uposta. This is nothing but the confession of the whole congregation of the monks. The general monastic rules say, and it is taken from Vinaya Pitaka, one is called Pratimoksha. In Pali, it is called Patimokka. According to Each monk has to read from this Vinaya Pitaka and confess before the sin that he has committed. And if the sin is very serious, the committee will decide a punishment to that monk. That punishment may be the penance, or he may be expelled from the monastery. We know that the similar structures of women monks is also existed. Those structures are called nunnaries. These nunnaries are huge in India, but now it was not found anywhere in India except Burma. In these nunneries also, the same rules of the monastery is followed, and those rules also in the entry, the heads of these women are shaped in the rites that are conducted, and three jewels they have uttered, and also the precepts they follow in that nunnery. But in many of the places at that time, the nunneries and also the monasteries used to exist side by side, and there was so many immoral reports existed, but they never lose that vows. They used to follow the vows completely. So therefore, we can say that the monasteries, especially for man, is established, and the nunneries, especially for women monks, established in the whole world where the Buddhism has been spread. But now the monasteries only existed for man, and the nunneries completely devoid of these nunneries, and only in Bhutan the nunneries are maintained, and these nunneries have many of the principles, and also many of the teachings existed in the nunneries. At every 15 days, on the full moon day as well as on the new moon day, they used to gather and discuss and preach in that congregation. And during that congregation, it was also happened the confession of the sins, and according to the sin, the punishments also designed for the monks. Either they will go to the penance, or they will be expelled from the monastery. Each monk daily spent in study, study of religious material, and do religious exercises. Take share in monetary work, that is, cleaning his cell, cleaning the monastic buildings, cleaning the courtyards. The elders will do the training of the novices in the Buddhist activities and Buddhist sermons. The spiritual exercises of the monks are: they sit quietly, cross-legged, think in mind the four cardinal virtues of Buddhism. They are the love, pity, joy, and serenity. The noble eight paths of Buddhism are right views, right resolve, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right recollection, right meditation. All these pathways will lead to the elimination of sorrow and stopping of sorrow. Monks are trained continuously and extremely in these pathways with a careful observation.